record on this computer? Does it say recording now?
Yes.
Okay, we're good. All right. So again, what Melissa, just to recap, if you're watching a recording, this is something that's helping us know what to do, know what to say, and know how to go about tracking it. I think tracking is a big thing that I do this stuff all day long, where I'll go into my Facebook messages and I'm like, who have I messaged last? Or I'll go into my email, who is on my interest list, or who didn't I follow up with? And so you're constantly dealing with that. And this helps you literally track it. So I just go into my dashboard, and like today, I mean, I knocked this out, and I've been knocking this out even on a Saturday and a Sunday really easily. I have connected with 15 new people, 6 of my existing customers, 5 coaches. I've invited 3 people to something, whether it be a free group or Shakeology or a business or Beachbody on Demand. And I've added at least 11 people that weren't in my system quite yet. And how that happens, it's as simple as what I started with was loading my customer list and my coach list. So when I did that, for example, let's not even worry about prospects right now. Let's just say I want to load people who have ever bought anything from me. And all of you probably have a decent amount by now, of some sort. Or let's say you have an Excel list of the people who've done free challenges with you. Something warm. Let's say you want to start with some warm leads. And so you load them, and it will tell you how. So don't worry about it. I'm not going to be inefficient in trying to explain it. It will show you how. And then you get to rate everybody. So after it's loaded, you can literally go to your customers and you can say, I want to skip her because I see her at work. I just chatted with her, so I'm going to connect. Saw her in person. She likes Shakeology, and she switched it to every other month because she's afraid to get backlogged or whatever. And you can basically track what type of conversations this was. Was it in person, greeting card? Not going to happen. Text, all this stuff. So it's just super cool. And then you can log the connection, and you can say, I want to follow up with this person in a month, just get her, or in a week, but really urge her to have her Shakeology daily so she doesn't have to be every other month, whatever your goal is, right? And then you can move on to the next one, and then it'll track that. So even though that wasn't a goal of mine, I've exceeded that, and I just reached out to one more customer. And it's really smart. It will know if they've bought from you. Like basically, if you're taking away from Beachbody, they'll know that it's a customer. They'll know if it's a coach. It's just really smart. So like I could type in Caitlin Jensen, and I could say, what type is she? She's a coach. And I could even drill it down further and get really organized if I wanted to. Downline coach, right? Especially as you get a bigger business. And there's definitely names in here I'm like, I got to do some research. I don't know who's who and who belongs to. And this is just going to help me with that. So what I wanted to share was really just the fact of how much this is helping me, how it's keeping me organized. And it goes into, yes, I did a workout post. Yes, I worked on my personal development, my shake, my workout. It's basically your to-do list and a way to manage all of the people that you probably ever need to manage, and your key behaviors each day. And you can set your goals. And if it seems overwhelming, again, it will be so simple with these video breakdowns. Edit daily goals. So I started off pretty conservative. Oh, and I'm getting back. So I set my income goal for $70,000 because right now I'm making anywhere in between like 35 and 40 this year. Other years I've made 45 to 50. So I want to do more than that. And it will tell you how many people you need to reach. So I need to have 2,029 connects, which is really cool for them to, and it's not exact, but it's pretty darn, to me, I'm not surprised at all, but some people might be surprised. They might say, my goal is to have a full-time job in this, but they're not going to realize you need to reach out to this many people in order for that to happen, and it'll help you with that. And so this is an example of how that just explains everything. I'm not even really good with numbers, but it explains everything with that. Melissa, if you ever have anything you want to chime in on.
I was just thinking right now about how this literally took all of my separate systems that I was using. Like I had to-do lists on my phone that would pop up reminders for me, and then I would have like written stuff down in my calendar that I would have to go see to be able to check off. but this put it all in one place.
Right. Absolutely. Yep. It has you really fill out your whys. And I'll just, kind of show with you guys. So just if you need ideas, I mean, this is actually forced myself to write a newsletter. And I know it was long and I put it out there, but I forced myself to write a little article on why I'm doing this fitness full time and why I'm working as hard as I work. Because I think it's hard for people to know why they should do something now, why they should either create plan B or create their long-term plan and act now, because it's so easy to just react, like change the kids and work on your work schedule. I mean, everything's so reactive. It's like life is like an inbox of emails that you're just reacting to, and you're not ever shutting off your email to like go for what you really want, and it's planting those seeds. And this is something that, to abstain from a million metaphors really help you act on what you foresee your life looking like and what needs to happen by starting with what you want life to look like and then drilling it down into specific steps. So how I feel is I want to have a life where I do what I'm passionate about, good at, paid for how good I am, have more time for those I love, can do from anywhere when I'm 50 and may need knee replacements and even in my sleep. And I tried to be really specific with that because I could be a personal trainer. I could open up a gym. I could do a lot of different things. I could have a business and other things, There's a lot of options for us, but why this? And why do I keep coming back to this? And why do I not give up when it's hard? I really feel like these things can happen with Beachbody. And why the long-term, like why all of this work is worth it is because it creates that versus everything we're doing now beats up my body, is exhausting, doesn't allow me to work flexible hours, et cetera, et cetera. And so it kind of really just goes into that. And it really breaks down how to import from your online office. And I haven't even done the Facebook thing. I know Melissa has, so she can be a good resource for that. And then I don't even know what that means. So if you're still trying to figure things out, just know that I will say that I know I'm successful in this because I don't wait to understand it all. I'm a perfect example of somebody who's like, okay, I know how to do this and let's do it and get rolling and learning as I go. Melissa, same thing. She probably doesn't need to have thousands of customers before she's starting to import them, which is perfect because now she's starting from the beginning. So that's cool. And then you can always come back to this. So blah, blah, blah. So skip wizard for now. And again, you can set your goals. So as I realized I was kind of nailing these things down or kind of hitting my goals pretty easily as I use this thing, I upped the ante on myself. And so you guys can kind of see, let me see an example, activity feed, for example. So this was all today, but it didn't feel that crazy to me. And I tracked it, right? So I can go back and really just see where all of these things are left. So let's say I just want to go here, Susan, and let's say she messages me out of the blue, which those things happen. It's like, what do we talk about? And you can still go through your Facebook or go through your email, but if you want to just go to the history, you've logged it. And so it's a lot of copy and paste, but this is the thing that all coaches talk about, like, especially as you become more and more successful, you need to track and need to see where, and this is a perfect example. Hey, Maria, I've had these 10 messages, or I've had these 10 instances where people have not gotten back to me. And you could literally show it to me and I could be like, okay, let's identify a weakness here. So you can learn from yourself. It's just like your profession. How do you actually progress? So I'm just kind of like running with this in terms of what else you can do with it. But the follow-ups are big. So I'm kind of going through, let's say I message a bunch of prospects. I've connected with customers and I'm connecting with coaches and I'm connecting and I'm inviting people to something. Now, everybody I'm talking to, I'm not flagging as a follow-up, but if it's somebody who I want to purchase something, we've talked about challenge packs, we've talked about a group I've invited, you easily can say, hey, I want to follow up in a week, in 2 days, in 4 days. And I haven't witnessed it yet, but I'm pretty sure on your dashboard it's just going to pop up to say you have follow-ups today. Okay, so I've talked a lot. Do you guys have questions yet? Anybody? Val?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. When you add new contacts or say you get new customers just directly from Beachbody, does it automatically sync, or do you have to go in and add them again? And will it repeat your, like, will it give you two of the same person if you continuously import your contacts or your customers if you get new leads?
That's a good question. I know that, let's say you have, so I've loaded all my customers and I haven't experienced yet where I'm like, well, I just want to load my freshest set of customers. Like, you download it again.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to think it's smart enough for that. That's a good question.
I know the answer to this.
Go.
So when you do your customer search, do it by a date range of when your most newest customers are from the last time you ran your report, and just upload that file.
Okay.
And then you won't be doubling up on your customers.
So you have to keep track of when you imported.
Yeah.
Cool. And then let's say it's pretty easy, like in terms of adding contacts. And this is just, I don't know if this is efficient or I'm going to kick myself later, but what I'm doing instead of loading all my Facebook is I'm going through and reaching out to people who have liked my posts, and I'm adding them one by one as I have those conversations, add contact, and Instagram too. And that's just getting me to not have to import everybody, rate everybody, and then talk. But essentially, ideally, you're loading people and you've gone through and ranked them. I think that's a difficult process in and of itself anyway, and they help you with that on what you should rank people. And it's really cool in the sense that I can be like, I only want to follow up with her once a month. She's not my personally sponsored coach. She quit Beachbody last month. She probably doesn't want to hear from me for at least 3 months or something, you know? So you can just rank people. I can rank Melissa 5 because she's on every team call, you know? So, and then I'm still digesting it all, but it'll basically prompt you to follow up with Melissa, say every month. I'm pretty sure if it's 5 or every week. So I got to learn that better. So what are your initial reactions?
When it was showing like the conversations that you had with people, and like, just, does it know that from being linked with your messenger, or did you have to put all that in there? So you have to like enter it every time, or?
Yeah, you are becoming that person. You're becoming your tracker. So I would consider this a track system. Yeah, you're not like syncing.
It's not like just grabbing that, knowing that you did that.
Not yet. I'm sure that
I just did copy and paste with mine. So once you have that conversation in, say, Messenger or something, I just copied it and pasted it. The hard part's going to be if you do texting. You don't have to maybe write the whole conversation you had in texting. Maybe in your conversation, you can just put some brief overview, like if it was a phone call or whatever.
Right. So like for this, for example, let's say I want to say Melissa attended team call, provided feedback on Team Z, check back with her on goals and how it's working for her. Phone call, not an invite, follow up, 4 days.
How long have you been using it, Melissa?
I started using it, it's only been about 2 days, but today was the first time I was able to really sit down and play with it a lot. But it's really easy just to go through. And I have maybe like 250 Facebook friends. So I just imported all of them, and I'm going through and I'm taking out, it's really easy to just delete the people who, like, no offense guys, but I'm deleting people that are on my team as coaches so that I don't have them in my prospect list and stuff like that. Or like people that I absolutely know will never talk to me about Beachbody.
Right.
And then going through and just ranking everybody else. So for me, that was not that big of a task. And then as I'm adding new people, when I'm friending new people and they're accepting my friend request, I just go in really quick and look at my list for the day and add them manually so that I don't have to upload another Facebook
There you go.
thing.
Nice. And then you can kind of see, I think I started it. It's funny. I watched a YouTube video. I'm like, I'm going to wait till the weekend to do this. And I couldn't even wait because I was just like so excited. And it's just one of those things that you can start acting on right away. And it makes you want to. It's almost like it's like a game where you're like, I want to clear my little bubble, I want to get to my 14 contacts. And so that's that, and definitely play with it. But here's what can happen, right? So this is where the work comes in, and the reality is the messages and the texts and managing that. And that's where time management comes in. I definitely can be better. What I found is that I can do all the work and then force myself to shut it off and then commit to a 30-minute time in my lunch hour or when I get home or whatever really does work for you realistically without overwhelming you, and just knock out those messages and then just copy and paste it into your tracking system. And your goal could be 5 conversations a day, right? I'm at my computer all day. I'm trying to up the ante on my business this year. I'm going to be reaching out to a lot more. And that's just important to me and worth a little bit of the stress on not getting back to everybody right away, like being okay with that. And I don't know if you guys have this is just another time management tip. I don't have it right now, but at my work, I use this for messages, and I do the kill my news feed, so I don't have any of this going on. And I'm actually starting to think about the tracker because I'm just thinking about my generation, and you guys are the same generation, but like our world of messaging versus commenting. Like I'm experimenting. I'm messaging some people, and then I've done it enough where maybe like I have messaged some people and they're not messaging me back ever. Maybe they don't have Messenger. Maybe they know that it's going to be a network marketing thing, but I'll comment on their picture. And I'll log that as an activity because I have sometimes, I don't know if you guys find that, conversations within people's pictures better than in the Messenger. And so that should be tracked too. Because people love when people comment on their stuff and they're going to not want to not respond to that. So something to consider too, if messages, kind of experiment with that with your audience. I found success with that. So anyway, I'm still logging that. Like, hey, I commented on our, like you were saying, Melissa, because with my day job, Caitlin, you might have something similar with sales. It's maybe the same thing for Orange Theory, I'm not sure, but you're logging notes. It's not even, you can't log a phone call, right? Like, blah, blah, blah. They're not scripting that, but you summarize it in a note. So that's what I've been doing. Cool. Well, Melissa, what else do you feel like it's helping you with, or what are you excited about it?
Helping, like I was saying earlier with the scripts, giving me ideas on little things to say or how to approach things, because that's always been my sticking point, I think, is not knowing how to initiate some conversations. So they really went through, and I think the only thing that it's missing is invites. Like you can check that it's an invite, but it doesn't. That was the only thing that I think was missing from the scripts.
Like somebody.
Yeah.
From that, like a segue.
Yeah.
Cool. Maybe yeah.
Like a little bit beyond an icebreaker.
Right.
Especially because a lot of people maybe that you add to your Facebook are friends of friends that you don't really know them. So how do you initiate sometimes that conversation?
Right. And the guy who created this, if you look up Team Zeme, he's all over it in terms of YouTube, and he's doing a team call with Julie. I feel like she's been hearing about it enough. She's like, I got to do this and get my team on it, because certain coaches have been using it and having a lot of success. So she's going to have a team call where I can make sure you guys know about it and are invited to it. But the one that she did with Micah, did you see that one, Melissa? Micah Folsom?
Mm-mm.
That was the one I saw that was really good. But it basically breaks down all the stuff, really helpful. Where are the scripts?
If you go into, it's that little light bulb, see where it says new?
Let's see.
Right next to, up above like Jackie's name. And then off to the right, way far right.
I feel like this is what I do all day at work. I feel like a company right now. Service.
It says connect, activity, details, notes.
Light bulb. Right here.
Yep, like, yep.
My clients don't know what space bars are, so we're like in good shape.
And then just hit like Facebook.
Okay. Cool.
And then you can click on the left-hand side, you can click each one. And then you basically just copy and paste. You can change your filters based on whether it's a coach or prospect, I think has the most choices. I haven't looked through all of those yet, but.
Ooh. Let's see. Cool. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Like in terms of filters on how to break into that, which I'm sure they're working on, because it is so dependent on that relationship. Do you guys feel like this stuff is helpful in terms of getting rolling? I mean, you guys are all you guys know what to do and you have success when you do it. I guess I'm talking to an audience that I don't want Caitlin and Valerie to feel overwhelmed that they don't even touch it, or that you get going and then you're like, I can't even handle 30 messages back. Like, I know that would overwhelm me, and probably something I think I've heard of this and avoided it because of that. But then you get mentally ready and, and you say yes to these things. Do you guys have any concerns or thoughts?
I think it's kind of nice. It's a good way to kind of show you. It kind of reminds me of Shailene's push. It's basically the same kind of thing. Just basically listing out, this is what you have to do every day. I mean, a list for the most part, it's just doing it for you, making it a little bit more simplified. So I think it would be nice because it's going to tell you what you didn't do. And I think that's my biggest thing. Yeah, I do certain things obviously fairly well, but there's a lot of things I'm obviously not doing. And that's why I'm not getting out of where I'm at. So it'd be kind of nice to have it just in front of my face, being like, hey, you didn't reach out to anybody today. Yeah, you posted a workout, but you sucked at everything else. So, I mean, it might be nice.
And it'll start to say that, like Siri, like, you suck.
Keep me accountable. Yeah, that's what I need. Someone to be like, you sucked today.
There you go. And then it'll be even better when I can have access to all of your dash. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, right?
That's when you become a micromanager. That's what we do at our day job. Is like, Caitlin, how many, connect?
I would feel like I was right at work then.
Exactly. But yeah, it's really cool and it motivates you to do that. And again, the more you play with it, the more fun it is. And then that's where it kind of comes into a learning curve too, where you're like, Maria, I'm having all these messages, but I'm really feeling stuck on the invite part keeps going to zero, or, staying at zero. And that's something that, I think we all struggle with. I'm working on that, but it forced me to invite. It forced me to be like, hey, we have these groups and these unlimited workouts. And I've really been riding that wave with existing customers and people who have like commented on my videos, because the all access on demand is such a new, brilliant, I'm getting a lot of positive feedback. Like, hello, like that's a crazy deal. And why haven't you guys had that forever? That'll help me so much. And so I feel like it's a disservice if I'm not letting everybody know that it's available. So I kind of just mention that we have live, so anyway, I can help you guys dig into that initial conversation and then dig into more specific invites. Valerie, did you have a question? I can get into that before we leave too, if you guys need help. But Valerie, did
No, I think this kind of goes along the same lines as the challenge tracker, because it tells you and reminds you, when I do a group through the app, I can see that I haven't done my workout, or I can see that I haven't logged my shake yet, which I have my shake every day. But, it's just a constant reminder. As long as you go in there and you check it, it's right there in your face saying, okay, you haven't done this yet. So I think or you have done this and you crushed it, it says. So I think it's great for us which we're all super busy, just to simplify things and I don't know, go after our goals a little bit more heavily when it's right there in your face. And kind of as a side note, I love the all access. I haven't subscribed to it yet, but I've had great feedback from customers who have switched and new customers that are coming in saying, hey, what's this all about? So anyway, I love it.
Yeah. And it just gives you that much, the more you share with people, the more feedback you have to be like, I'm going to message somebody and let them know about it. Like even if they say no, at least they know. Especially anybody, it's great. And I was telling Julie this, I was like, I'm so excited to dig into the people who have said no to me, or who have bought one thing, or who have even coaches who aren't coaches anymore. It's just, you get to a point where that's going to be part of your business. And, oh, this is cool, the training. It takes 7 to 10 times for somebody to have an exposure with you or a conversation or say no, whether out loud or like to themselves, before they go forward in a transaction or a relationship. So it just goes to show you how often these 2s or 1s need to be reached out to before they're probably a 5. And that just goes to show you with coaching and things like that. So the thing I'm really excited about is not only being able to do this, but share it with you guys and then have us. I just feel like so much procrastination happens when we don't know how to translate it or teach. I mean, a lot of you guys are teachers. I'm not a teacher. I'm an instructor and I'm a doer. I'm not amazing at creating something like this, but that's the beauty of this is I'm a sharer and a promoter and a doer. So I can share this like mad and invite people like mad. And even if you are a great teacher, it's like, how do you find the time to do what you do in a classroom to your team? So it's easy to feel, hey, I can onboard a new coach and say, shoot for 3 prospects a day. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so easy. And the scripts are there and the video tutorials are there. So I feel good whether it's a new coach or somebody who's been needing this for a long time. What else should I cover?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not muted. I just got a message from, actually, Marie, you were talking about my Fit Club today.
Yeah.
And one who's been coming like nearly every week, she just said she signed up for the All Access for the 1 year, not the challenge pack, but just the whole access. She said, did some guerrilla workout with 22-minute hardcore. No fun at all. Scared of gorillas now.
That's awesome.
Oh, because we did 22-minute hardcore at Fit Club on Saturday, and I said, I'm trying to avoid this one workout because I absolutely hate it with the gorilla crawls, and they said, oh, those sound horrible. Anyway, she tried it and did not like it either.
Aw. That's great. And something, I don't know, have you guys, it might be funking with I said funking, by the way. It might be messing with my All Access on Demand. Like, it might be kicking me off. I'm not sure. Have you guys been kicked off at all when you're doing All Access? I think it's because I'm lending my stuff to people. But I'm going that route of saying, hey, so if you're encountering that where it's a delay, your customers have had delays in All Access on Demand, like, how long did it take you guys for your All Access to load?
5 days.
So what I've been doing, at the risk of bumping me off my workouts, I'm giving my logins to my customers and just letting them use mine. And I've kind of gone that route because I just believe in All Access so much that I'm like, hey, use my login and try out a workout. And if you like it, you can literally get access to all that for $99 for the year. And it's working really well for me because most people are like, I want access to my, I don't know. People are like, that's not, people don't want to use my stuff and just be all hood rat about it. So I don't know.
I've been doing that too with a couple, and the one that said yes to it, I gave it to her and she loved it. So I think there's something behind that too.
Totally.
It's illegal, I think, but who cares, right?
Yeah. I didn't say it, but I said it. So, and I think it's one thing to like lend it to them and like let them use a few times versus like, let's all community share it, because it does bog down the system and stuff. So just watch out for that. But
and I think maybe too, they would be more when it says that you've done X amount of workouts, in 7 days. I think if they knew that you could find out that they were abusing the system, I guess. Does that make sense?
yeah, that's true. Maybe they're looking for that.
I don't know.
I'll let you guys know if I get an email.
No, I'm not talking about Beachbody. I'm saying like the customers that you give your login information to, since we can see how many how many workouts we've had in 7 days, us as coaches can see, okay, this person's been continually using, and then
That's true.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, because I'll log in and I'm like, oh, someone was doing Fix Extreme. Or it's like when you log
Right.
into Netflix and see like anime, or that's my problem. My little sister is like flooded with anime. Like that's not mine. But cool. So this is this is super. I say get after it, use it as soon as you can. Literally, as you start your free trial, it will tell you what to do and give you videos, and the videos are really short and helpful. And in terms of just the conversation and how to translate it and move through it, I feel like you guys have all been there long enough that that's a training we could definitely do. And something that I always do is I always just ask what's working for them in their fitness and what do they do for their nutrition currently. And 9 times out of 10, they're going to say either they're like on it and I'm like, well, you really don't need much else. But if you ever want to chat about being a coach or opportunity, like if they're super into fitness. But people will say what ideally happens and what doesn't happen. And so I tend to ask, would having all access to a library of the best proven, fitness programs around like help you make it happen every day, or, you just uncover the things that get in their way. So I've been asking what are their biggest obstacles? What do they feel like is missing in their nutrition? So I try to really just poke holes in what they're doing, because I feel like there's people that reach out to you, they're like, I need help, I'm off the train, right? And then you kind of go into what are your specific goals. But then you have people that are already doing stuff or relatively active or aren't going to tell you that they have been sitting on their butt for 2 months. And you can kind of just ask questions like, well, what works for you generally? Is there anything that gets in your way? Is there anything that's missing in your current routine to make it more fun and exciting for you? So just finding those little holes are good questions to ask. And at the end of a lot of conversations, you're just like, that's awesome. Sounds like you've got a good thing going on. If you ever want to join us to a fit club, mine's always a class. If you want to come to a class, or if you ever want to try out any workouts, please let me know. We've got, a ton of them that have helped people switch their fitness routine up. The same type of nutrition. Any questions? Kind of one of those things, just use it, and the sooner you can. I mean, like, use it. It's really awesome.
I think it looks great. It looks like a great system. It's just a matter of getting, just delving in and, like you said, just doing it. Because, I think because it was created from a former coach or a coach, I'm not sure if he is or not, but he knows the ins and outs.
Definitely. Cool. Are there any other related or unrelated questions you guys are wanting to cover real quick?
What do you do with your Instagram people?
Yeah, so that's a combination of commenting on their stuff, and I should probably be smart enough to like say when I like it, but that's really a lot of work. So I'm just, when I comment, I'll try to log it.
Yeah.
The hard part is this is very desktop friendly, and let's say Instagram is a very mobile thing. So, if you're going to fire through some stuff and you're not going to log it, it's not the end of the world. You're just doing activity that you haven't logged. I would almost look at it like a cherry on top, like, if it happens, it happens. But ideally with Instagram, I am doing those messages to people. Not as often because it's way easier for Facebook. But I think that the pro and the worthwhile part of it is knowing that a lot of people are on Instagram. A lot of people are going to interact in a comment and notice when you're paying attention to them. That's something that I did that little video in our, the thing where I said, it was a TeamZ promotion. And basically it's so true. Like I even think messages, I think likes are going away in the sense that not going away, but people are liking less. People are just scrolling. And they're going to kind of see you a mile away if you're going to invite them to an event or a message even. Like I'm still doing it, but I wouldn't stop yourself from going that next level of evolution and commenting and being really, I don't know what the right word, engaging in an authentic way where you're not just like, hey, join me. It's more looking super cute. Your kids are adorable. ask a question, especially if it's somebody who you notice. And this is another coaching prospecting tool. If it's somebody who has a great social media following and they comment back to everybody, that's a great way to communicate with them, pay attention to them, and then get them to respond to you. And then know that they're good with their social media. So it could be a conversation where they'd be interested in coaching because they're good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I log it, yeah. So I'm doing the direct messages. Do you guys check your direct messages on Instagram?
Mhm.
I do. I don't feel like it's as easy as Facebook, but that's just because I'm on Facebook a lot and I'm on my computer a lot. Versus people who don't even check their Facebook messages or say they don't. And it'd be interesting. I'm always trying to psychoanalyze. Are people not responding to my messages? One, because they don't see it. Two, because I'm asking a serious question and they don't want to take the time to respond and are on the go and then forget. Or, even with emails. And Julie actually broke this down where she has that form stack where she has the attraction marketing going where she has these crazy ads and hundreds of people will like them, but then maybe like 10 people fill out a form stack. And she literally gets like 2 emails back after people will fill out a form stack. And she's like, people are weird. They're just weird. Like they think they want something until you're like, hey, let's talk. And they're like, scurry away. And I've had plenty of that where I've seen people in person and I'm short of like, hey, you never got back to me. I don't do that. I just should, but I don't know. I'm that same where I'm like, don't want to confront somebody because generally I feel like it's a deeper issue and they're just not ready if they're not getting back to me. And I don't want to put them on the spot when I see them at a Mexican restaurant and they're eating like fried ice cream. So that's all good. Cool. Is there anything else that's keeping you, Melissa, have you figured out any way to like leverage into an invite or are you still moving your way through the relationships of just chatting with people?
Just moving through the relationships. I am just trying to pay attention to people's posts. That way I don't miss an opportunity to comment on something and start those relationships. And I'm starting to try, like there was a picture I posted the other day of some meal prep I did last week and said that I would share recipes. So I got a couple emails from people, and then one of that started a conversation with somebody who had been thinking about 21 Day Fix. So I asked her if she had a coach, and she didn't. So, I started messaging her and emailing her. So I'm getting there to where I'm starting to feel comfortable with doing that and being that person.
Yeah. Another
It's
thing.
just so hard for me when they're strangers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I have that too. And they just say, not right now, or they don't get back to me. You're right. It's just, but you're working up to that warmth where
Yeah.
just, hi, boom. It is a
Yeah.
much longer process, but the more, and then experimenting with like Facebook Lives and things like that. I know that's like the Shailene effect would say that that's a surefire way to help them trust you quicker. So something to think about with the cold market. And I want to do that, but I haven't been doing it. So in terms of time. But yeah, so I would when you go to create it, you literally just go to teamz.com, create a free account, and it just moves you through those steps. And it's really, really cool. And if you have questions, there's going to be a ton of training on this and a ton of continued push and improvement for it, I think. I'm sure it's only going to get smarter if this guy's really running with it and having success. And who knows, Beachbody might even try to buy it or something, like just the nature of these things to sync it.
I would hope that they would create an app for mobile.
Yeah.
That makes, because you can use it on your phone, but it's just the website version.
Oh yeah.
But if they had an app that you could fly through it quicker, that would be good.
Right. Like Gary Vee says he's only using his phone just moving forward, which, that's the next wave of how to help people do this efficiently. Okay, cool. Well, thanks for joining, you guys. I know that it is something that it's like, how do you, it's all in one space. It is fun, and it really is. I think Melissa and I are just hopefully proof that the more you use it, the more fun it is, and it's just hard almost to not do and pop into that. And I'm like, I had to really calm myself down in terms of sharing it with my family, and my husband was like, look at this really cool thing. And it's like, it really, for me, it's gold. And helping you guys, I really, I might do all this stuff, but to tell you guys to do what I do, I'm like, what the hell do I do and what order do I put it in and all of that. So, cool. And then you guys are doing the workouts. I know you're doing that. And that's something that the more content you put out there, the easier this is, because I really just go down who's liked my stuff and who's engaging on that. And then move forward from there. You know, once you expire that kind of stuff, you can get into, and I think Melissa is doing it's brilliant. You go into what they're doing and it's that intentional Facebook scrolling or intentional Instagram commenting to really encourage or connect with people and things that make sense to you, whether it's fitness or dogs or, you know, kids or just working a lot, fitness, that kind of stuff. So cool. Well, thank you guys. I know that was 50 minutes of your time, and I hope this really helps you guys. I want to hear more from you. And then with this, I'm going to be, you know, putting you guys all as 5. So you'll be hearing from me every week, and just let me know if you want to move you down or up a star. But it does help. I mean, I really, you know, now that the coaches are all in one spot, I don't need to keep going down to my drill down and be like, who do I need to reach out to? And the truth is, it doesn't allow you to really, it forces you to not reach out to people that you see or who only come to you, right? Or who only go on the team page. I mean, I struggle with that I'd love for you all to be active in the team page, but I just know that that's not realistic based on your lives, you know? And that's where just because that's where I live doesn't mean that's where you live. So, this forces us to engage from a personal level. Awesome. Okay, well, I will share the recording. I know some people had coaches that wanted to read or see this, and I see all of you guys. This is also just another tangent. In the challenge tracker, I'm seeing everybody share successes, which is really cool, of their coaches, and it's really neat to see that kind of stuff come through. So that's something I also want to talk about moving forward soon is a coach invite, what is that called? A sneak peek of sorts. I feel like there's some really good momentum right now. So prepare to see posts on that in the team page. Cool.
All right.
All right,
Thank
guys.
you so much for sharing all of this. It's very helpful.
You're welcome. Just get after it and keep you posted.
Okay, thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.